Weekend news with MarkZ, Bank Stories, the 2nd of November 2024. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Weekend news with MarkZ, Bank Stories, the 2nd of November 2024. MarkZ update some highlights by PDK, not verbatim. MarkZ disclaimer. Please consider everything on this call as my opinion. People who take notes do not catch everything. And it's best to watch the video so that you get everything in context. Be sure to consult a professional for any financial decisions. The CBD gurus kick off the first 45 minutes and Mark gives the news at 10:30 a.m. Matt has a story to share. Member. Good morning Mark, mods and RVers. Member, are you hearing any good RV tidbits Mark? MZ. We have a couple bank-ish stories today. Add. MZ. From a source in the Middle East. Sadani has just stated that the currency transition should be completed by Victory Day. Victory Day is December 10th. This means things will be going right away if it is to be completed by that time. MZ. We have a really fun bank story from someone that works at a bank. This is a banking employee and I cannot tell you which bank. They asked, outside of the bank, about Nasara. The other person's eyes got really big and their jaw dropped. They said, "How do you know anything about this?" The bank employee told what they know about Nasara and the other said, "We have been signing a lot of NDAs in our preparation for this. All of the employees are under a gag order and cannot speak about it, and we will be transitioning to a wealth management location." They also made the comment that the new money comes out in November. They have completed their training and have a new Delarue machine. MZ. I have great faith in this source. This is as much as I can share without getting somebody in serious trouble. So we'll leave it right there. MZ. I think we are going to have one heck of a Thanksgiving to give thanks for this year. Member. Any other news on Nasara? MZ. I believe Nasara was signed into Law 1N 1999. It was in the congressional record. Many folks here actually saw it on government sites before they scrubbed it and hid the information. I regret not having printed it when it was on the government sites. Member. I can't get any information from my bank until 9 a.m. Monday. It says systems are shut down until then. Member. Monday, November 11th, my bank closed. Veterans Day. 1995 bank story by Matt at CBD Gurus. Matt. At the time I was a limo driver and would pick up people at hotels and the airport in Minneapolis. There were a lot of businesses and conventions in Minneapolis along with a lot of financial places there. Offices of the Federal Reserve is still there. One day in front of the Hyatt I picked up a guy with no luggage or computer or anything, which was unusual. It was a 20-minute drive to the airport and as we drove we got talking and I asked him, "What do you do?" He said he meets with all the financial guys in Minneapolis. He continued, "I work with a division of the government. We are going to be changing things around at financial institutions, and dealing with the power of money around the world. The structure." I met with Wells Fargo and a couple more at the Federal Reserve here. I was just in town doing a couple days of business. I do not know if he worked for the Treasury or another branch of the government. I asked him what he meant by changing the structure of money and this and that. He started talking about empires. And changes like the British Empire, the Dutch Empire, the Roman Empire etc. I just listened and kept driving. I did not know anything about this stuff back then. I asked him, where is the financial power going to then, if you changing things? Just call it Asia, he said. Things will be all right, just different. I asked him, where do we fit in the whole thing? He said, we aren't running the show anymore after this, it's somebody else's turn. We had to get ready for it. Now this was in 1995. I asked him, when is this all going to happen? He said, we are planning it for 2024, but I think we can move it up to 2023 feet. Later on I find out what he was talking about when he said the money and power was going to change. He was talking about the RV, that is what he was talking about. And the time is now. We don't know the exact date and hour, but it's going to happen. MZ. Some of the biggest financial meetings in the world go on at the Minneapolis Federal Reserve. MZ. In Iraq. The Iraqi parliament recommends changing out 5 ministers in Sadani's government. They say these 5 are slowing down the reforms and they want to finish them quickly and completely. So they want to change out these 5 cabinet members and move forward quickly with reforms. MZ. Many folks are expecting these votes this weekend. MZ. Parliamentary finance calls on the government to control non-oil revenues. Non-oil revenues are a very important part of the reforms. MZ. Deputy. The first start of the phase of the project to develop Iraq's border crossings with neighboring countries. People will be going back and forth for pilgrimages, tourism, shopping sprees to and from Iraq. Trucks laden with goods will go through there. Iraq is becoming a very modern hub for the area. MZ. Distribution for Iraq's retirees' salaries tomorrow Sunday. They will be paid for the month ahead. They do have a holiday coming up and wanted to pay ahead of time. What could be another reason to pay them ahead of time? The revaluation of the dinar to lift up the Iraqi people. That's what I was thinking. Member. Wild 3-day holiday in Iraq. Where have you heard that before? Member. Do you still think all currencies will go at the same time? MZ. I do, but hope everyone is diversified and is not keeping all their eggs in one basket. If one currency happens to go ahead of time, well, you would be prepared. Member. How about the Venezuelan bolivar? MZ. Do the math. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. They have some of the largest gold reserves in the world. They have some of the largest rare earth minerals deposits in the world. And the lowest currency in the world. It's going to be worth something somewhere someday. Member. Mark, any word from your bond contact that never checked back in? NDA confirmed. MZ. No news since last night. Member. Great information today, thanks to Mark and Matt. Have a great weekend everyone. Member. Have a very blessed weekend and see you all Monday morning. Ad. The content in this podcast is for general and educational purposes only. Not intended to provide any professional, financial or legal advice. Please consider everything discussed in MarkZ's opinion only. Note from PDK. Please listen to the replay for all the details and entire stream. I do not transcribe political opinions, medical opinions or many guests on this stream. Just RV, currency-related topics. Thank you all for joining. Have a blessed weekend. See you all Monday morning for coffee at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time unless breaking news happens. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.